Hello YouTube, how's it going? My name is Jake and welcome to the first video of 2024. Happy New Year to everyone out there, wherever you are in the world. I hope you brought the new year in the best way you possibly could. I went to bed at about 9 o'clock because I'm old. First video of 2024, and hopefully it definitely won't be the last either. I'm setting myself a goal is that I am really going to revamp this channel and make it something that I post on more regularly. I want to give myself structure. I want to give myself a freedom to post as much as I possibly can on here. With that in mind, the plan is that this channel will mainly be and only be a gaming channel, whether it's gaming in the background and discussing video games, whether it's a potential let's play of games. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't really decided, but I want to put more focus into this channel. I do have a second channel as well, which is mainly just used for shorts, in which I do my TikTok videos from. I'm going to continue with that. The shorts will be anything obviously under a minute, and I think anything longer than a minute I may make it just into an actual video. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to see. I need to give myself some form of structure when I do these videos and stuff like that. So my plan is ideally 3 uploads a week on this channel, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what days yet. I don't know what times. Mainly the times will probably be late afternoon into the evenings because of work, but I will work that one out. In regards to the football one, that will kind of just be whenever, really. I mean, at the moment I'm trying to do as many sort of videos as possible. I think today alone I did 4 for my TikTok. Bring the new year in with an old series I've done. So if you are a football person, go follow my TikTok. And I say the longer ones, which I think the 4 that I did today are all longer because of the content in them. I will probably end up uploading them to my second channel as well as actual videos. But let's just talk about, like I say, what are my goals for this year, and let's just have a little bit of sort of what's been happening, where I've been. So last year for me was a bit all over the place in terms of sort of life, in terms of YouTube. Like, I started, then stopped, left for a long time, came back, did a few odd videos here and there, and there was no consistency, and that's all on me to give myself that sort of focus, like forcing myself to come do these videos. I always wanted quality over anything else, so that's, you know, a thing for me that I need to work on, and definitely I will work on. So yeah, popping back in and out with videos that were appropriate at the time. Obviously the hype towards Modern Warfare 3, trying to do sort of like custom zombies videos, which I think is something I do want to keep looking at. I do want to keep doing things that I want to do more than anything, so it won't just be the same old, you know, you'll see footage in the background from Call of Duty or something like that. It will be different. You know, like I said, I want to do let's plays. I mean, what the video playing in the background is, I just downloaded again the first Tomb Raider from 2013 from the reboot. Why have I done that? Well, over the Christmas period, so when Xbox announced their Game Pass lineup, there was a Tomb Raider game in it, and now it was Rise of the Tomb Raider, and for some reason I got excited and I thought it was Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which was at the time the only Tomb Raider game I had never completed. I got excited, went to download it, realised it was the same game, it was Rise of the Tomb Raider, got upset, so I went on a certain CD Keys website, which I'd never use, and honestly I would 100% recommend it, 1,000,000%. Found Shadow of the Tomb Raider on Steam. It was like you could only buy the definitive edition. I think it was like £35-39. Got the CD key for a very respectable £6. 10 hours of gameplay, played it in 2 sessions, one session and then the other session, and completed the whole thing and absolutely loved it. Now with Shadow, I got to a certain point, stopped playing it for whatever reason, and I hadn't touched it in 5 years. So coming back to it, I was remembering bits, and then got to the bit where I was up to where I couldn't get past, and then completed the game, and I absolutely adored it. It's one of my favourite franchises. I mean, I've never played the older Tomb Raider games, and maybe I probably should at one point, but that trilogy of games, the original, Rise and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, are 3 of my favourite games to play. And for someone who mainly plays like COD and FIFA and like all that sort of stuff over the past few years, it's quite weird to say that. But no, for me, you know, growing up with PlayStation, like Uncharted was an amazing franchise for me to play. Tomb Raider is down that for me. So whether the Tomb Raider stuff in the background I'll make into an actual thing, or whether it will just be like footage in the background, I'm not quite sure just yet. But you know, playing Shadow and completing it, it's got me wanting to play all three again, so possibly I will do that. But there's going to be older games. Like I saw one of the things on my YouTube at the moment, on my recommended, is people platinum them in games. Now I'm going to tell you for a fact right now, you will not see me ever do a platinum video. I've never platinumed a single game. I don't play games for trophies and achievements. But watching people do these is so much fun. If I need to kill 45 minutes to an hour, I will put one of these videos on. I will probably never play that game, and I will still watch that video. Like, I've watched the GTA 5 one, I can't remember who the creator was, but I've watched that video 4 or 5 times because it's just so much fun. But one of the ones I recently watched was Watch Dogs, the very first Watch Dogs. Now, I do plan on buying the first Watch Dogs again and replaying that because it was a fun as hell game. I've still got Watch Dogs 2 downloaded, and I still think that's a really fun game. I haven't touched Legion just yet, and I do want to play that. So, yeah, those are at least 2 more games that I will play, and I can guarantee you there will be a lot more. I will go through my Steam library, I will go through my Xbox. I mean, if I was to go through my Steam library right now, have a look at my collection, games I could play on here. I mean, there's Bloons Tower Defense, which I kind of want to do a Bloons Tower Defense video, or at least a few, because I do like that game. And now since getting it on PC, I can actually make proper content on it. There is still Master Duel as well, which I really do want to put more effort into making videos for that. Don't expect like master runs or platinum runs, diamond runs and stuff like that. I just play my own way. I don't go for meta decks. I think I've said this in the past. I don't do meta stuff. I just do what makes me happy. So yeah, Master Duel stuff I will definitely continue with. There is the case of doing zombies content on Black Ops 3, which is still a lot of fun for me to play. But if I look at some of the games that are on it, I mean, I've still got Driver San Francisco, which I absolutely adore. I've got Mafia 2, which I never completed, Metro 2033, which I never really gave enough time to, Rise of the Argonauts. I definitely will be doing that again. That is honestly one of my favourite games of all time. I recently replayed through Saints Row the 3rd as well and completed it. Absolutely adored that, so that's something different. Saints Row 4, even the Shadow Warrior games. I have Shadow Warrior 3. It's been downloaded on my Xbox for at least 3 or 4 months, and I've yet to play it. And I've played through 1, completed it. I haven't completed 2 fully, as far as I'm aware, and then I've got 3. So I've got Spec Ops: The Line. Everyone remembers Spec Ops: The Line? That was a hell of a game. So I've got a vast library of games that I will definitely be delving into, whether it is just for background footage or whether it is I'll try and make a series out of. I don't know yet, but if you have any ideas for similar type of games, I know there's quite a diverse amount of games there, but throw ideas in and I'll potentially have a look at it. If it's a game I've never played before as well, that could give me something definitely to look at, but we'll move on from there. But in terms of the other games, like with something like Call of Duty, like I was very dismissive of a lot of things with Modern Warfare 3 before the game came out, and look, the game's been out now for 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is now. I only got it, excuse me, I'm just coming back from an illness as well. I only just got it around the end of November. I am yet to play the campaign because I've seen just how many people it pissed off and people hated it. I have yet to play multiplayer in any aspect because mainly none of the mates that I've got have all been on at the exact same time for it, but I've put a hell of a lot of time into zombies. And now I looked at the whole zombies thing when it was with a DMZ-esque experience. I didn't think it was going to work, and I'd seen people that played it and they all said the same thing, that it's fun but it's not zombies, you know, it's not what we want. And the more I've played it, the more fun I'm having. Like, it's not so much a solo experience game. That's the one thing I will say. I think you need to have at least a duo in it. And I did that maybe a week or so ago. Me and a buddy of mine, we spent 7 hours straight just playing zombies. And it was so much fun playing it. You know, I'm having a lot of fun with Modern Warfare Zombies. And however they want to keep innovating it, adding new things to it, I am all for it. We know they're adding more contracts and stuff like that into it soon, so that's going to be really fun. But yeah, overall, like from the zombie side of things, yeah, I'm really enjoying Modern Warfare 3. I can't say I enjoy it as a whole because I haven't played like either the campaign or the multiplayer yet, because I don't think I've really wanted to. Do you know what I mean? But the zombie side of things, I'm having fun with it. In terms of that, there's no other game at the moment that I've sort of looked at and gone, I really do want to play that. Like I said with the games that I went through on my library on my Steam, even talking about my Xbox as well. I mean GTA 5 is going from Game Pass soon again. I don't know why they don't just keep it on at this point, because it's a second or maybe third time it's come up on Game Pass and it's disappearing. But I've got to say, all the games on there. But there was one I randomly, about every 6 months, have this random thought to play a game. The problem with playing said game is I have to buy a brand new console, and I don't want to do that. Console in question is going back and buying a PS4. Now, bear in mind, this console has been out by this sort of time, around about 10, nearly 11 years, right? And maybe even a bit longer than that, I'm not even quite sure. But there's one of the games that it first came out, I got it as a bundle with it, was the game Knack. Now, a lot of people will probably be listening to that and going, what the hell is that? And Knack, from what I can remember playing, I've not played this game in well over 10 years. But Knack was basically just like a fighting game where you were this small little character. You were made of rocks and emerald or ores and stuff. And the more you obtained these rocks and ores and stuff like that, you grew. So your character went from a really small being to this some hench, big-ass monster. And you fought, I think it was ogres, I believe you're fighting. So kind of like a Warhammer type deal, but obviously a lot more childish. But the fighting mechanic on it was always really cool. And I played the ever-loving hell out of it, mainly because it was one of the first games I ever had on PlayStation 4. That, along with, I think it was Killzone, one of the Killzones at the time. So they were the only few games I was playing at the time. But I get this random occurrence every 6 months to play this game. But having a look online and finding out that you can still have to buy a used PS4 for £120 for a 10-year-old console is absurd. They never did a PC port, so I can't do it on that. I mean, I guarantee there's an emulator out there for something like this, and if there is, cool. I've never tried emulation. If there was a chance I could get it to work, absolutely I would do it. But I want to go and experience that game again, but I do not want to pay that sort of money. Do you know what I mean? But getting back onto it, look, it's been a mental. With work and stuff like that, it's been a lot busier. But in terms of sort of like difference from the year before, I've been a lot more stress-free, or have been more stress-free in that sort of case. I've not been as overworked. I haven't felt as horrible. Towards the end of 2022, I was in a really bad mental, physical, emotional state, just completely, utterly burnt out. And my body really reflected that. And the thing with me in 2023 is I really changed the way I looked at my life and how I want to go forward, and I started taking care of myself a little bit more. I started looking after myself mentally. Like, I checked out of video games a lot this year, and I needed to do that. Like, I was constantly on the same grind of just playing the same old games repetitively over and over and over again, and it was wearing down on my psyche. So I gave myself a lot more time away from games, and at the same time that led me a lot of the time away from being with my boys as well, and that hurt. Like, even if I could have just been in the calls with them on Discord, I think I'd rather have done that. But I just took a big step away in sort of improving myself on the mental side of things, and I'm in a much better place for that now that I can be like, yeah, I can go out and play with the boys for hours at a time. You know, in terms of playing football, which I do once a week, I took care of myself. If I was really not feeling it, I would say I'm not playing. Whereas in previous years, I'd be going, now I would play through anything. Now I'm a lot more like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not playing. And in terms of that as well, the one step further as well with that is trying to lose that little bit of weight as well. I'm not 100% happy with how I am, but I'm content, if that makes any sense. So I'm not happy with how I look, but I also don't hate the way I look. I'm pretty happy with, well, I don't want to say happy, but I am content with it. Like, I could do better to lose a weight and everything, but I don't have that sort of mental strength to push myself, and that's one thing I need to change about myself. I want to change that, so that way then by, let's say even by the summer, that I am in a mentally a better place, physically I'm in a better place, emotionally I'm in a better place, and that all comes down to just me being tougher on myself and saying, no, look, you can do this, you are going to do this, we move on from there. And one of the things I want to start doing is I got an exercise bike last year, hand me down from my mum and dad, and for the first 2 months I used it every single day pretty much, to the point that I wore so much damage on my leg that I stopped using it, and I hadn't really touched it since, apart from every now and then. I want to set myself a goal to do at least sort of 10 to 15k on a bike every single day, working alongside sort of eating a little bit better, just to make myself feel better. It'll give me something to work towards, so that way then once I'm finished at work, I can come home and go, right, I've got to do A, B and C before I go to bed, rather than just I'll come home, make dinner and then just go lie in bed or sit on my desk and play games. That's one thing I've got to work on, and I'm going to work on myself for that. And with that comes back to YouTube. I want to get better at this. I know I've got the consistency in me to do it every single day or every other day, make the content, upload the content, up everything I need to. I know I can do it, and for me, if I have that structure, I will get shit done. I will say that for a fact. So I will get stuff done. There will be more content on this channel. I can guarantee that, and I'm going to guarantee it. You know, I can't do every single day upload. I know I can't, because I've done it in the past and I burnt myself out before the end of the month because I was just running out of ideas. But if I pace myself, I can get it done. That, I don't want to call it a New Year's resolution because I hate New Year's resolutions, but that is my resolution. Is, well, there's multiple there. There is to get mentally fitter, to get physically fitter, to get emotionally fitter, to keep a schedule for this channel, to grow this channel, to grow my social media presence, to be in a position where ultimately is I want to be a content creator. That's all I've ever wanted to be growing up. So that is what I want to be. That's what I want to do, and I will hold myself to that standard. I will leave the video here. If you've got any comments, let me know down below. And if you really like the videos and you want to see more, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.